Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm Mike Drotis, Bible teacher and preacher, and you've tuned into my YouTube channel, Solving the Prophetic Puzzle. Today I want to talk to you about fallen angels, Nephilim or giants, aliens, and UFOs, and how they're all connected. This video came to me, or this idea for this video came to me while I was working and talking to one of my fellow co-workers. I work a low-paying job as a groundskeeper. I'm there because it's my mission field. I'm there because the Lord wants me to be there, and I find it an honor to be working at this location. The other day, I was eating lunch, and a young man came in. He's about 21 years old, and he began to talk to me about various subjects. I was interested because normally he's usually on his phone, but this time it was just he and me in the break room, and he wanted to talk. And so he asked me questions about space and about the universe. And then he stopped for a minute and he asked me a question about UFOs. He asked me if I believe there are UFOs and if I believe there are aliens. For a minute, I didn't say anything. And then I said, yeah, I believe there are UFOs and aliens, but not like you believe. He asked me to go on, and I began to tell him some of my thoughts about UFOs and aliens and the deception from Satan, and I began to preach the gospel to him, actually. I turned that whole conversation around to preaching the gospel, and he was really affected. And he told me, he thanked me, he says, I really appreciate you talking to me about these things. And I said, yes, and we can talk again whenever you want to. And then we went our separate ways. But I want to go deeper into that conversation now with you guys, because there is a connection between the UFOs, the aliens, the fallen angels, and the giants. And it started long, long ago in the 1940s when they had that first rocket ship that crashed outside Roswell, New Mexico. And isn't it interesting that happened in 1947, the same year that the nation of Israel, the fig tree generation, the fig tree nation was beginning to come onto the scene. For decades since then, we have had Hollywood and media spoon-feed us with movies, TV shows about friendly aliens, about new worlds with different life forms, about friendly aliens who seeded us here and they placed genetics inside of us years ago and help us develop. We read and we've seen movies and TV shows about Star Wars and Star Trek and all these things, and we're accustomed to it. It's part of our culture. We have news outlets reporting alien sightings. We have news outlets reporting alien abductions. We have news outlets talking about alien assistance. We even have the military recognizing UFOs. The masses certainly believe there are aliens from other worlds who are trying to nudge humanity along at the right time. As they continue to nudge us along and as we continue to evolve, they are going to reveal themselves one day as the big brother who's always been there, who's always been in their corner, who's always been there to help them. Let me tell you something, folks. That is a complete lie. It's all a lie. It's a great deception perpetrated by the father of lies and spread by his followers. What we are seeing when we see aliens and UFOs and all this is what Paul says, that Satan can disguise himself as an angel of light. If Satan can disguise himself as an angel of light, he can certainly disguise himself, and his fallen angels can disguise themselves as aliens or UFOs. What we are seeing is fallen angels masquerading as aliens in UFO spacecrafts with the agenda to perpetrate this lie. They want to be seen. They're not trying to be undetected. They want to be detected. They want to tell us, the world, that you are not alone. You are not special. You're simply another species in this vast universe. That you're simply another life form that was created out of cosmic goo. That you are not special. That you are just the result of random luck, two atoms colliding together and creating some life that slowly developed over millions of years. That's all you are as humans. And that there are other civilizations that are more advanced than us, and that they're helping us. They're throwing us breadcrumbs whenever we need some, just to keep us moving along at a slow pace so that we can one day achieve their level. that we owe our existence to these ancient aliens who came in the past and tampered with life forms on the earth and created us, and we evolved and developed into what we are right now. This is a big lie. This is a big lie. Another thing that you always see when you're talking about aliens and UFOs is these gray creatures. They call them the grays. They have a big head. They have big eyes. They have 2 small holes for breathing, and they have a small mouth. They have long, spindly arms, and they have long legs. And that's it. There's not much to them. They can walk around, and they seem to be able to do some things, but they're not that developed. If they're so advanced, if they're such advanced creatures, why are they not like humans? The human body is the most advanced machine or technology advanced mechanism in the universe. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. But these things are the exact opposite. They look all the same. They don't have much features, and they can't do much. But why are they there? And when they abduct people, which there have been many reports of humans being abducted by the Greys, what are they usually doing? They're experimenting on them, often with their reproductive organs and their blood. If they're so advanced, what can't they figure out? What's their problem? Their problem is, it's a joke. These Greys are actually simply soulless beings, soulless bodies that the fallen angel technology has produced. Not as awesome as God's masterpiece of man. All they got is a scrawny gray creature. And it took them a long time to produce what they got. That's all they got, a soulless body. Why? It all goes back to the Nephilims or the giants. Look at Genesis chapter 6. It's all going to come together in just a second. Now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came to the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men, who were of old, men of renown. Then the Lord saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Genesis chapter 6 records the fact that there was a group of fallen angels who, as Jude said, they left their heavenly estate. They began to procreate with human females. Not all the fallen angels, 200 of them did this. They knew it was wrong. They simply decided to take matters into their own hands. They disobeyed God, and they procreated with human females. These offspring were thus immortal. They were half angel, half human. They loved these half human, half angels' offsprings. But God sent the flood because the entire world at that point in time had been corrupted. These 200 angels not only interbred with humans, but they also did things with animals, and all of creation was being destroyed and corrupted. Their DNA was being distorted, diluted, polluted, and not what God intended his creation to be. So God had to destroy the entire earth with a flood. And he destroyed the giants. However, their bodies were destroyed, these giants were destroyed, but their spirits that were part of their makeup are still here on the earth. After all, they can't go to heaven. They can't be born again. They are fallen in nature, and their only eternity is separation from God. So they were here on this earth. Enoch had mentioned that they are called evil spirits, and they roam the earth. These evil spirits were once housed in these Nephilim bodies that was the result of crossbreed between fallen angels and humans. The Greys are housing the evil spirits so that they can function in this realm in a body. That's the connection between the UFOs, the fallen angels, the giants, and the Greys. It's evil. And we'll probably see more of this because Jesus said before his return, it would be as the days of Noah. We are seeing things happen right now at an exponential rate. Things are beginning to happen just like they were happening in the days of Noah. And you have to realize that Satan almost pulled it off. He almost corrupted the entire world. His intent was to corrupt the DNA genetically of every entity on this earth, thereby making God's creation void and having God, he thought God would leave creation and then he would be the God of this world. It almost worked. However, this time, he's going to try it a little bit differently. He's not going to use fallen angels to procreate with human females. He's going to get his DNA in them right through the mark of the beast. He will get the DNA into humanity through the mark of the beast. We are close to the mark of the beast. We are close to all these things happening right before our eyes. We are at the last of the last days, getting ready to go into the final 7-year period that people call the tribulation, or I also call it Daniel's 70th week. And it will be as the days of Noah. Finally, one last verse. Luke chapter 21, verses 25 through 28. And there will be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and on the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them from fear and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of the heavens will be shaken. There is so much we could talk about right here, but it is going to cause a worldwide panic when these UFOs, these aliens, these fallen angels begin to reveal themselves as entities from another universe that have come to help and assist and aid mankind. There's going to be great fear. Men's hearts are going to fail them. People are going to die of heart attacks because they're going to see these things happen. Then, I like this. So that happens first. Then, verse 27, they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Oh, Jesus Christ is coming back. Twice, actually. First, he's coming back in the rapture, and second, he's coming at the very end to establish a kingdom on this earth. And the first time he comes back, he's in the clouds, in the atmosphere above the earth. And the rapture occurs at that time. Now, when these things begin to happen, look up. Lift up your heads, because your redemption draws nigh. I love to hear that. As we see things happen through prophecy, as we see the days of Noah happening once again, as we see all these things begin to happen, it's not a time to be afraid. It's a time to look up, because Jesus Christ is coming soon. The only thing that you should be afraid of is if you're not born again. Today is the day of salvation. I have a video at the end of this one that you can understand what must I do to be saved. It's only 11 minutes, but it'd be the greatest 11 minutes that you could ever spend if you don't know Jesus Christ and if you came to a saving knowledge through this. So as I always say, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do. Every week I do 1 or 2 videos about either the rapture, Bible prophecy, end times, or something along that nature, whatever the Lord leads me. In this case, it was a conversation with a young man about UFOs. If you have prayer requests, send me your prayer requests. I'll pray for you. You pray for me. And until next time, like I like to end every video, keep looking up. Jesus Christ is coming soon. God bless you.